I will also. Yeah, is my sound is audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Okay.
Sir, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So when we create these containers, always do we create with operating systems like Ubuntu or CentOS?
Not only CentOS, you can use any operating system. It can be Ubuntu, it can be Alpine, right? And there are
Okay.
so many containers available which are designed for some specific service also. Like we have the container with the image called MySQL. So if somebody is going to run the container from the MySQL image, so that is going to basically inside that container MySQL database will be running. Okay, similarly for some other services like WordPress. So like that, tons of images are there, right? Even I will be going to show you that how you will be going to create your custom images also for your own purpose. Okay,
Okay.
but base of all these containers will be a operating system, right? You cannot say that I am using a laptop without an operating system. Make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
So
So
that will be the
uh,
base.
and like in an organization, for
Yeah.
example, if there are multiple users for that operating system, so in one system, can we create multiple containers?
Yes, you can create like yesterday I shown
Okay.
you also, right? So yeah,
But
I will show you.
yeah, yeah. For but like it's not like individual laptop thing, right? But yeah, like in one organization, for
So
example,
see,
one group is yeah.
the thing is now, like, see,
Mm.
whatever you are working, whether you are working in an organization or something, okay, just try to
Uh-huh.
understand everybody, every employee is getting their own personal laptop. That is the first thing. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Second thing, whatever what organization is doing, like take an example, a Flipkart, right, or a Amazon website. What they are doing, they are launching a website. On that particular website, all the clients or the customers are coming and ordering the
Hmm.
products, everything. Okay,
Yeah.
but that particular Amazon website or application will be running in any server. Make sense? That
Yeah.
server is not your personal laptop,
Okay.
right? So whatever the server that application is running, that Amazon application, that server will be running in some Docker container or using some Kubernetes or something. Okay.
Okay.
From your
Okay.
personal laptop as an engineer, you will be just communicating with that. Like currently, see, our Docker is running in which this is just like a server, right? So our
Yeah. Yeah.
Docker
Yeah.
is running inside this, and I am
Yeah.
using this putty screen to communicate
Uh-huh.
with that. So other
Yeah.
person, if I will give you the public IP and private IP, you can also communicate it here, right? You can also do
Yeah.
some work. So
Okay.
that's the thing.
So server is one and multiple containers we create. Okay. Got you, sir.
Inside that particular server.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
will be.
Your notes and your explanation is very clear and very good, sir. Actually, when I attended some other classes, but your explanation and your notes is very clear. Actually, thank you for that.
Yeah, no issue. Good. Okay, so let me just revise the thing yesterday, whatever I done, then I will continue the next part. Okay. So the first thing yesterday, if you remember, we started with the images because any operating system you want to create or something, the first thing you should have an image of that, right? Then only you can install that particular operating system. So yesterday we went with the Ubuntu or CentOS based image. Now, this Ubuntu was 22.04 version. Somebody want to download Ubuntu 18.04 version, something like this. So if you don't remember the exact version, then you can always come to the Docker Hub website. I already said you that this is a website which is going to store all the images. Okay. And if you'll go to this website and if you're going for the explore, okay, this explore, so you'll be seeing here tons of images are there, right? More than 10,000 available results are there. That means there are so many images present here. Okay. And Nginx is there, Alpine is there, BGBox, Python, Ubuntu, right? So take an example, you want to go with the Ubuntu. So I will click on this Ubuntu. in the Ubuntu, they are saying docker pull Ubuntu. Whenever you use this command, by default, they are going to download the latest version. Okay, docker pull Ubuntu. If you go in the tags, so they will say here that if somebody is writing docker pull Ubuntu, so by default, they will download the latest version. But if I want to download some specific version, right? So I can come down and I can find this focal 23.10, 23.04, 22.04, 20.04, right? So if somebody want to download the Ubuntu 20.04 particular version, they will just copy this command docker pull Ubuntu, then colon, then 20.04, whatever the version you are downloading. Similarly, 18.04. There are so many versions are available in the Ubuntu. We can keep searching, going to the second page like that way. We can keep searching here. Okay. Now, if I want to download, so I will simply say docker. I want to pull Ubuntu and I want to pull the 18.04 image. Take an example. So 18.04. That's it. That's the docker duty that they are going to download this particular image. They are downloading that. They will extract it. Now, if I'll say docker images, so they will say one more image is available. Now, in case of the Ubuntu, I have two images. One is the latest one is the 18.04. Okay. Now, when I want to start a container, okay, like when I want to start a container, like yesterday I ran so many containers, if you remember, these four containers we already started. Okay. Now, take an example again. I want to start a container. So I will simply say docker. I want to run a container. Okay, and give me the interactive terminal for that. And that container, I want to use it from the image called Ubuntu. Okay, and I want to use the specific version 18.04 only. I'll press enter. What they are going to do, they will start a container from the Ubuntu 18.04. They started it. How I can verify that this is running on the Ubuntu only? So if I'll do here cat slash etc slash os hyphen release, so it is clearly saying that you are using 18.04 version. Inside this container, whatever you are doing, that will be specific to this particular container only, just we created. Okay. So here, if I'm going to create a directory with the name called test, okay, and inside this test directory, if I'm going to store some files here, inside that I'm writing some content, roy.txt, and here I am adding some content, whatever the things we usually do in our EC2 instance, exactly same thing you can do it here. 18.04 content like this. After saving this file, we can just close it. And to exit, to come out from this container, there are two ways. Either you can press the exit, then in that case, it will be just like you are powering off the container and then coming out. But there is an option called Control plus P plus Q. If you press three button, Control plus P plus Q, that means you are coming out without stopping the container. Control PQ. Okay. Let's clear this. If we'll do the docker ps, so it will show only running container. So just now we started a container with the image called Ubuntu 18.04. It is clearly visible. And currently this container is in the start mode only. Okay. So if I want to see again that whether my file is present or not, I have to simply say docker. I want to go inside again. So docker attach and give this particular container name. Either you can give container name also, either you can give the container ID also. Both will work. And see, again we came here and see we landed to the test directory here. We just created the roy.txt file. If you see the contents, exactly same content is there. Again, if I'll do exit, so this time it will stop the container. So if we'll do the docker ps, there is no container showing because there is no container running. If I want to see all the container which is created here, so this many containers we created, and this is the one that we created just now. Okay, and currently in the exit mode. If I want to connect again, so first we have to do the docker start. This will be started. Then I will do the docker attach. Then we'll be able to go inside this. So up to here, is it clear? This is just a quick revision for the yesterday's part. That's it. Okay. So this was the thing we saw yesterday. Okay. Now, sometimes we have, like, see, currently you are writing the docker ps command, right? Or docker ps-e command. This command does not make that much sense because you are not understanding why I'm writing docker ps only or why I'm writing docker ps-e only. So Docker say that I have some management command also. Okay. So rather than writing like this docker ps, you can write like this also. Docker can you list all the container docker container ls? This is also giving exactly same output. Currently it is showing no container is running. That's why nothing is printing. Okay. Similarly, if I'll say that docker container ls -a, can you list all the container, either it is running or a stop, then it will show all the thing. So it's totally on you whether you want to go with the docker ps-a command or you are going with the docker container ls-a command. Which command will make more sense? You can use that. Okay. But both are going to provide you the same output. And if you want to see the docker commands, so you can always use the docker ---- help command. Here you will get all the options. What is the use of the attach command, right? What is the use of the create command, run command, right? Like that way you will be able to see all the commands. Currently I shown you the management command. There the docker container is there. It will help you to manage the container. So like this way we can create. Now sometimes what happens, like currently these containers are 5 containers are in the stop listed, right? Somebody asked me that can we run multiple containers parallelly, right? That can be the question. So now the thing is, if I want to start this container, what will be the command? Docker, I want to start, okay, and then I will write the container ID like this, okay, and I will press here enter, or either I can type the name also, okay. I will press enter, that container will be started. So see, this got started. Similarly, if I have to start all five, then I have to type this command docker start this container ID, then this container ID, like that I have to write it, right? If there are 100 containers and I want to start all the containers in a single go, then it is really difficult for us, right? To type the command docker start this container ID, docker start this container ID, like that, okay? So first let me just stop this container also, whatever I just started. So I'm just writing the container ID again, and I will simply say docker stop, and this container will also stop. Currently you will see no container is running, all are in the stopped state, okay. Now there is a command like docker container ls -a. I said you that docker ps-a and docker container ls-a, both commands are similar, right? You can use any of the command, okay. So even if I'll do this command, they are also printing the exactly same thing, that all the containers, either it is running or either it is a stop. But in this command, if you'll give one space and you'll add one more symbol -q, if you're giving -q, you know what it is going to print? It will print all the container ID only. It will not print all the information. Currently, it is printing container ID also, image also, command also, created also, status also. But if I'll do -q option here, it will just print the container ID. Now we got the container ID, right? So our thing was, if I want to start all this container, we had to write something like this: docker, I want to start, and then I had to write the container ID, right? Then this container will be started. But I know that this is the command which is going to give the output as a container ID. Okay. So if I say that docker, you have to start, but I don't know the container ID, do one thing. Okay. Do one thing. You have to run a command. Which command? Docker container ls -a -q. What will be the output of this command? Output of this command is going to be container ID. Okay. And docker start, it is going to start the container. So once it will be keep giving, like first it will give 7c container, it will start, then it will give 3f, it will start, then 15, it will start. So this command is going to start all the containers in a single go. Is this making sense? All of you? That we are running this command and this command output, we are providing it to this one. And if I press enter here, so see all the containers, they are starting one by one. And if I do docker container ls-a, so see, we are clearly seeing all the container got started and all are running. You can connect to any container using the docker attach command and you can do your work. And all the container will be in the running state. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Similarly, if you want to stop, simple command, simply you have to do docker, you have to stop all the container. That's it. They will stop all the containers one by one. Stops usually takes time, but yeah, it will work. And if I do docker container ls-a, all the container got stopped. Okay. And currently, let me show you one more thing. If I do the free-m is the command which will show the RAM utilization. Currently, how much RAM is free? 127 MB, right? If I run it one more time, 127 MB RAM is free. Okay. all the containers are in the stopped state. Let's start all the 5 container and let's see how much RAM they are consuming, because our EC2 instance is running in 1 GB RAM only, right? In 1 GB RAM, we are able to run 5 containers. Let's see whether we will be able to do or not. So if I again do docker start, so they started all the containers, but now if I'll do the free-m, so see 118 MB RAM is still remaining. That means they took less than 10 MB of RAM. Okay. And in any real world scenario, can you think of that in less than 10 MB of RAM, you are running 5 containers or 5 operating system? It cannot be possible, right? Why it is possible? If you remember our theoretical class, it was clearly explained that time that Docker does not reserve the RAM. Whenever they will require the RAM, they will ask from the base machine. Okay, and that's why they don't reserve it. That's why everything is free here only. Okay, we are seeing here free only. Okay, whenever this container requires some extra RAM or something, take an example, some container is running, right? So take an example, let's go inside this container. Okay, and if I'll type it, let me first do duplicate. Okay, let me duplicate this session. So there we go. So currently this is the RAM. Okay, 115 MB RAM is free here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is yes, I'm going inside any of the container, docker attach to this container. Okay, so okay, spelling is wrong. Okay, so I'm at this particular location, right? Currently, if I'll use here that also free-m command, so here it is showing around 103 MB RAM because I came inside this, right? So when I came inside this container, so now we'll require some resource, right? So that time only they claimed the resource. Is this making sense? Previously it was 115 MB. Now they took around 10 MB more, right? Because now we got the screen of this. So definitely some RAM requirement will be there, right? Similarly here, if I do the command like apt get update, oh, wait, this is 720, right? Apt, or let me just do one thing. Just hold on a second. See, it is printing hello, hello, right? So that means they will be taking some RAM here, right? They are keep printing hello, hello. So if I'll type it here for you, see, they're utilizing RAM, right? Only 61 MB RAM is there, right? They're utilizing the RAM because they are keep printing hello, hello, hello. And as soon as I'm going to close this, actually this will be not closed because if you remember, I told you one time, right, that if while loop is going to be happen, so it will be keep running. But now I try to close it. As soon as I closed, you'll see that now they don't require that much, right? Because now this application got a stop. So again, they will give the RAM back in some time. Currently it is 62 MB, but yes, it should give back RAM. Let me just type it here inside. So still it is 62 MB. I think that process is still stopped because we manually run that, right? So, okay, just give it back. Why they are taking this much time? Okay, let me exit from this container and then let's check pre-hyphen. So 73 MB, they are claiming little bit late because the problem is here now. They are storing it in some cache memory. That's the only reason. Okay, but it will be claimed back again. Okay, it is not like, see, we have 952 MB RAM, used it 165, free 73. But yeah, there are 700 MB RAM is still remaining, right? That is basically stored in cache memory. That's why we are seeing it here, some change here. Okay, because see here it is in the label section, it is getting attached somewhere. So that's the reason. But whenever they will require that time only they ask. So that's the only understanding we have to develop here. Okay. If this part is clear that whenever we require resources, that time only we do. Similarly, if I want to stop all the container, I will simply do docker stop, and that's it. They are going to stop all the container one by one. They clearly saw that first container is already stopped. From the second container, they are going to stop it again. So they stopped it. Again, since we stopped it, now if we try to do the free-m command, so again the RAM got free, something like 103 MB RAM is again become available or something. So this is the thing about the Docker. Okay. Similarly, like there are so many containers as there, right? So container is just like a EC2 instance type of the thing. Okay. The only thing is it is faster. Okay. And inside a single EC2 instance, we are running multiple containers. Even I can launch 10 more containers, 15 more containers, right? Because they ask for RAM only when we utilize it. Okay. Now, these are containers. So in the EC2 instance, I given you the idea how to start the instance, how to stop the instance, how to connect to that instance. These all three things I given you in the Docker also. How to launch, that also I given you using the Docker run command. The one thing is remaining how to terminate, right? Here we do the terminate also. Terminate means we are deleting this EC2 instance. Now we don't require, right? So sometimes it will happen here also, right? I created this 5 container, now it is of no use. So I have to delete it. So for that, again, we can use the command called docker remove. Okay. This is that you have to use the command called docker remove and then you have to write the container ID. Okay. So rather than writing the container ID, again, I can type the command docker container ls -a-q. It will print the container ID and it will remove all the containers. And if I do docker ps-a, nothing is resolved because all the container got deleted. Okay, everything I deleted. Now all the data, whatever we saved it, everything will be lost. So any confusion up to here? Okay. So sometimes what happens, you try to create some container, but for some specific use case only, right? Take an example. What I want to do is I want to say that I want to start a container. Okay. But only I want to see the calendar command output. That's it. Right. So I can simply write like this also docker uh, can you run a container, okay, with the interactive terminal from the CentOS image, okay, and just run the calendar command. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do. I will press enter. They will run the calendar command output. This output came from which? It came from the CentOS 7 container, okay, and they created it. If I'll do the docker ps also, docker ps-a, you'll see clearly here they started a container 12 seconds ago. They run the calendar command there and then they stop the container 11 seconds ago. That means they started, they run this command, they stopped it. Similarly, if I'll run one more time this command and this time I will say that print the date command out. So they will print the date command output, but what they done in the backend, they started a container 3 seconds ago, they run the date command, they stopped it. So that is the thing they are doing. Okay. So if I'll do like this, uh, docker run -it and from the CentOS 7 image, right? And sometimes there are some commands which will be keep running, right? So we can write like this also, watch date -n. Let me just check whether that command will be correct or not. Watch date -n. But multiple command, will they able to take it? Let me just check it. Okay, command they are taking. There is some issue. Wait, let me just check it. Watch date. Watch -n to date. That's good. So this is the command watch hyphen and loaded. Okay. So I'm running a command here. Okay. Watch hyphen n to date. So what this command is doing. So just see what will happen. I will press enter. So see, you're seeing 356, 57. Now it is 59. So after every 2 seconds, they are running the date command. That's the meaning of this. Okay. So we'll be keep seeing here, right? Currently it is 57.7, 57.9. Like that way it is going to happen. We can watch it for every 1 second also. And if we'll watch it every for 1 second, it will be like a live clock you are displaying in your screen. It is just like a live clock. Making sense? This is just like a live clock, right? 27, 28, 29, like that type of the time is happening. And it will keep going on like that. So you can do this type of the things also. But what is happening here, whenever you are writing this type of the command, they are starting a container, they are running the command, and as soon as you are closing this, they will exit that container. Because this particular container I created only for one purpose. What was that purpose? To run that particular command. Okay, and always in the real world scenario we create the container for some particular use case only, right? We cannot create the container for some long term usage or something. Container was never meant for that. Container is meant for the short term work only. Okay, so that's the use case of the container. So again we created so many containers, so let me just delete all the containers. So again, to delete all the things, docker remove dollar docker container ls -e -q. It will delete everything. Okay, everything got deleted. Docker ps-a. Now sometimes you see that whenever I am running a container, they are giving some random name here. They are giving some random name, right? But take an example, you want to give some your own name, because whenever we launch the ec2 instance or something, we give our own name, right? So that type of the name also you can give it here also. Simply you have to do like this: docker, I want to run a container from, and use the interactive terminal, and I want to start the container from CentOS 7 image. Okay, and here you have to purposely mention, okay, that docker run -it name you have to give it. Okay, and name of my container I want to give it as my os1 presenter. Then what is going to happen? They started a container again, exactly same like this. Whatever the things I want to do, I can do it. If I want to exit, I can exit it. But if I do docker ps-a, they did not given any random name. They given the name whatever I given. So if you don't specify this name tag, they will give some random name. But if you specify hyphen name tag, then they will give the exactly same name whatever you will type it here. And again, one more container, you cannot create it with the exactly same name. This is going to fail. Why? Because they are saying you already have a container with this name. So it is not going to create another container with the exactly same name. Okay. So you have to always create the container with some different name. Why? Because see, we can start the container using the docker start container name, right? If there are three containers which is going to have the exactly same name, okay, then how you will be able to start it? So this name should be unique. Okay, so for that particular reason it is the case. Somebody was asking something. Okay, so till then, if you'll see from the documentation side, what are we cover in the docker. So first I given you how to start the docker, how to see the images, how to pull some specific image, how to start the container from some specific image, how to run some command inside that container. Okay, then I given you the meaning of docker ps and docker ps-e command. If you want to give the name to your container, that I specified you hyphen name. If I want to exit this container without stopping, you have to press three buttons together, control plus p plus q, all at the same time, then only it will exit without stopping. Okay, here it will show you the status, that how many times back this container got started or something. If you want to stop the container, start the container, attach means go inside the container, right? So everything is written here. Similarly, if you want to see help regarding docker, you can always use the docker -help command. Okay, here I given you the idea about the management command also. Rather than writing the command called docker container ls docker ps-a, you can use the command called docker container ps-a or ls-a also. Okay, similarly, to run the container also, let me just show you this command we missed. I did not cover. So you can write, like currently you are writing the command like this, right? Docker run -it -name test os from the image called Ubuntu 18.04, something like this, right? This was the command we were using. You can write the command like this also, docker container run. So actually this is preferred way, that you should write the command like this, docker container run. So people will able to understand, right? That okay, you are going to start the container. Because previously when we are doing the docker run, so it doesn't make sense, right? What is going to be started? So that's why they enabled this thing. And if I press enter, again it is going to happen the same thing. The container will be started, everything. Just the way of writing is different. That's it. If we'll do docker ps-a, you'll see one more container got started. with the name called TestOS. Okay.
Sir, a question.
Yeah.
Can we list the ID with the name? You know, the Docker IDs, the container IDs with the name.
Means?
Like, you know, we are giving this unique name for the each ID, right? Like my operating system one, my
Okay.
OS one. So can we list the ID along with this name?
Okay, you want to list the container ID and name only, that two things?
Yes, correct.
So see, to listing only the container ID, we have the command called -a-q. Okay,
Yeah.
it is just
Yeah.
listing the container ID. If you want to list the name also, then I think docker ps -help you can do. So Q is for quiet only display the container ID. We don't have any tag, they did not mention. Okay, you can clearly see Q for given for quiet, it will display only the container ID. Okay,
Okay.
name
Yeah.
they are not giving it, you have to give it all. Okay,
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
but wait, we can use some filter here. But yeah, filter we can use it, but again that will be just sorted here. Like it can happen something like this -a -f, and we are giving the filter. For example, I'm writing directly test as will it work? No. Filter. Okay, yeah. Filter we can just like this. Name is equal to distress. Will that work? Yes. So see, this time they are finding that. So like this way you can filter. But if you are thinking that I will be able to display only container ID and name, that cannot be possible.
Okay.
Okay. Because
Okay.
see, and also that is not the use case. Because see, why you will require the name to start the container, to stop the container, to attach the container, right? Exactly
Yeah.
same thing you can do with the container ID also, right? So
Yeah.
you can do like that also. Okay, but if you want to filter, like I want to find a container ID of the name called TestOS, that can be one condition, right? That I want
Yeah.
to find the container ID of the name called TestOS, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, you can use this command. Okay, and here just you can add a extra option called -q.
Mm-hmm.
So see, they're just printing the container ID of the TestOS 68B3, right?
Okay.
So this type of the sorting we can do.
Yeah. Then we can stop this particular ID, right?
That
Which
particular
is the
container
reason.
only
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
For that reason, I asked. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir. Thank you.
But anyhow, if we are knowing the name, then why will require the container ID? We can directly type the command docker stop this particular name, right? That also we
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why they
So
follow the both the way.
just one quick question, sir. So if we remove any of these IDs, can we recover them?
No, like it is something like this. You terminated the EC2 instance, so
Uh-huh.
you cannot recover it back, right?
Okay.
So see, that's what I'm saying. Container is the short sized. Okay.
Right.
We always prefer to keep the containers everything like a smaller, like where we are not dependent. Okay, like take an example, I'm running the date command in the container, right? So either
Mm-hmm.
I'm running it in the old container or the new container. It doesn't make sense because date command is going to give the exactly same output, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes what happens, we store some data in the container, like we created some directory that is important for us. Okay, so for that particular purpose, we map the volume of the Docker. That will be again a complex topic, okay, for you in the starting. But there is a concept of the Docker volume, okay, in which what happens is whatever the directory you are creating inside the container, like test directory or something, then
Mm-hmm.
that you can store it in some different storage. Okay, and when you start a new container with exactly same volume, then all the data, whatever you stored in that directory, that will be come back in the new container also. Okay, so this type
Okay.
of the concept we can do it easily. Okay, because for me our data is only important. Okay, and now the thing is, if somebody is installing some software, right, we created all the things, we created some software, we done some work, right, and then my container got deleted, right? So then it will be really difficult for us to create a new container again, to install 5 to 10 software, right, and again to do all these things. So if you remember, exactly same thing we done in the AWS classes also. We created our own custom image in the AWS,
Mhm.
remember?
Yes.
We installed the HTTPD, we installed the PHP, we created the website content, and then we created a image after taking the snapshot. So exactly same thing you can do it here also. Like you can install all the things in a container, and then you can create a image out of this. And that particular image you can upload it to your Docker Hub account also. Like this is my Docker Hub. Okay, so currently I'm not logged in, but still if somebody will search, because that image is public, so if somebody will search like this Roy Kissanet, right? So this is my username. So whatever the images I made it public, right, that will be visible here. So anybody in the world, if I will upload this image here now, so you have to just write this command like this, Docker pull and this particular command. Okay, and this particular image will be downloaded, and whatever the software I installed it here, everything will be come inside your that container. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so these all things will be seen in tomorrow's class, okay, of how to create our custom image, everything. Okay.
Yeah.
So to delete all the containers in a single go, I given you this command docker remove -f. -f is for forcefully. That means if some containers are in the running state also, they will delete that also. But if you are using only the remove command, then they will be not able to delete the container which is in the running state. Okay. So sometimes what happens, there are some containers are running, some are in the stopped state, and I want to delete all. So you can simply use the command docker remove -f and then docker container ls -e-q. But don't try to run this type of the commands in the production environment or something, because this is going to delete all the containers that is running in your company server in a single, right? So that type of the thing is there.
Mhm.
So yeah, to from creating the custom image, we'll be taking it tomorrow. Till here, if any type of the question other than that also coming in your mind, you can ask. Open for question. Okay. So anything you can ask, or from previous topic if you are facing any difficulty.
Yeah. I will practice this class, and if I have any, I will ask you tomorrow, sir.
Okay, so all of you understood at least that what is the use case of the Docker, what Docker is helping with us. Is that part is getting clear?
Yes.
This is so fast, right? As soon as I'm clicking, a new operating system is getting created like that, right? Currently, I'm using just the Amazon Linux 2 only. But I don't want to use any other operating system, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, Python, Nginx. Like there are so many available here. Okay. It's totally on us that what we want to use it. Okay. And did all the persons, like some are uploaded by the some company, like why they uploaded the Python image. So this Python is also running on some top of the operating system only. But the benefit is if somebody is going to use this Python image, then whatever the container you are going to create from this image, in that you don't have to install the Python 3.9 version will be already be installed here. So that's the benefit here. Okay. Similarly, there are some others containers also that are quite popular. uh, HTTPD, right? So this image actually we'll try to create it from scratch, but this image is available also. Okay, like if somebody will pull this image, then automatically HTTPD website everything will be installed here, so you don't have to install it. But I will show you how to manually uh, create our own image, which will host the Apache website. So that type of the things also we can do. Okay, and then how to make our website public from running from the Docker. These all things will be seen. Okay, so you're saying that there are so many images for the WordPress, CentOS currently we are using, right? Like this way, if you'll keep going on, you'll be seeing so many quite popular images for the Jenkins, for other things, right? So yeah, it is there. Even Amazon Linux is available. You can see whatever currently we are using now, Amazon Linux, that is also quite available. Let me just show you that Docker pull Amazon Linux. What launched? I was also unaware about this. Okay. So let me just do this. If I'll do Docker, okay, let me just type it. I copy it. So they're going to pull the Amazon Linux. Okay. And definitely they are going to pull the latest Amazon Linux. It is will be not Amazon Linux 2. Okay, it will be Amazon Linux 3 most probably. Let me just check. Docker, I want to run a container and give me the interactive terminal and take the image called Amazon Linux. That's it. They will start a container. Okay, they given the bash shell here, cat /etc/os-release. So yes, it is the Amazon Linux 2023 one. We are using Amazon Linux 2, right? This is the Amazon Linux 2023 one. Okay, in the latest tag. If somebody want to use the previous tag, Amazon Linux 2018 is also available, right? Amazon Linux 2 mostly we were using, right? So for that also there is a command called docker pull Amazon Linux 2. So let me show you this one also. So like this way you can just find it. I will exit from here. I will do docker pull Amazon Linux 2 and then we'll start a new container from the Amazon Linux 2. Docker run Amazon Linux 2. So now here if I do cat/etc/os-relay. So see this is the Amazon Linux 2, exactly our own EC2 instance one. Okay, so here whatever the command we want to do, yum install, httpd, everything we can do it here as it is. Okay, so it will try to install the httpd package. If you want to start the package, everything we can do it here, right? So it is something like that. All make sense?
Yes.
See, this software we are installing inside the Amazon Linux EC2 instance. Inside that we have another container that is also running on Amazon Linux 2, and there we installed that particular package. Okay, and you can exit it from here again. So that type of the things we can always do. There are so many images available. Okay, and these are the images we just saw, Amazon Linux 2 and Amazon Linux 3. Okay, so let's keep up to here. Okay, just practice up to here, and then tomorrow we'll discuss how to create our own image. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.